Hey there, thanks for listening to Retrologic. There were a couple of audio issues this week. Hopefully you don't even notice them because I did such a good job editing, but in case you do, just know we are aware of them and we are constantly looking for the best possible quality, and I appreciate you listening regardless. Thanks and enjoy the episode. Welcome to Retrologic. I'm Dan Caparello here with John Cummins, and this week we have a very special guest, Adam Caparello, again, Adrock, with us. We're going to talk about some Metal Slug, some good, cheap retro games, some Dragon Warrior, some Joe and Mac 2, and just an entire charcuterie board of games and systems to talk about. I was gonna say smorgasbord, but then I was like, oh no, what's the new thing everybody's doing? Charcuterie. My wife said that word and I was like, you just made that up. What are you talking about? She's like, no, that's what people are doing now. I'm like, okay. Now we know. Also, Retrologic isn't just a podcast. It's also a retro game store where you can buy retro games. You can visit Retrologic.games to check out our growing inventory of cleaned, tested, and authentic retro games. It's my eBay store, and I would love it if you would go check it out, see what's up there. Just sold a bunch of stuff, so I'll be buying a bunch of new stuff to sell, and you can look forward to that. John, how are you, man?
I'm doing awesome.
You have been busy.
Yeah, I have been too busy to play games, only not busy enough to keep me from buying games, which is the usual problem.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's just, let's work on that. Let's work on getting you some free time during the week. If I need to help, you just let me know. However, I can help you with that. If I need to come drive up there, babysit some kids, you just let me know.
Well, yeah, my kids right now, they go to like 3 different schools too. So as soon as I get off work, I got to drive all over town to get everybody, and it's something else. We're super busy all the time right now. You
had another fun week of pickups. I love hearing about all your pickups. Go ahead and hit me with it.
Yeah, so I bought this random lot of games that just to get one game. That's usually how my lots go. And I usually sell off all the other stuff. I either already have it or don't have any interest. This lot of games had, I think, a Viva Pinata for the 360, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, I believe, or no, San Andreas for the Xbox, and then it had Vice City for PS2, GTA 4, or no, Gran Turismo 4 for the PlayStation 2, Guitar Hero 5 for Xbox 360, and then it had like a couple DS games. I think it was Into the Blue 2 and some other Natsume game. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then the one item that in there that I wanted was a Game Boy Color game called Revelations: The Demon Slayer. That's an Atlas game that's pretty hard to get a hold of nowadays. So I bought, this whole lot to get that one game. So now I'm trying to kind of get rid of some of the other things to get some money back.
Some of that other stuff is very bargain bin. So.
Yeah, I figure if I could at least get like $10 for some of them, I'll be all right. I already sold Into the Blue too, so I'm pretty good on some of it.
Yeah,
but if not, I'll keep it. But so that was one of the ones I found that was kind of a random deal.
I've never heard of that game. I might have to look that up.
Yeah, no, it's a good RPG. So I finally found a copy of Twilight Princess for the GameCube. They listed for $120, and I got them down to $112. So it's complete.
That's not a bad price.
Oh no,
these days,
$150 is about what I've been seeing on average. So actually,
that's about the going rate.
Yeah, I got her down pretty good. That's what I've been hunting for. Yeah, complete with manual and everything.
Sweet. All right. Yeah, the one I sold a couple months ago was no manual, but in pretty good condition. Sold it for $120, I think.
Yeah.
Tested. So yeah, good deal.
Yeah, since this one will be open, I think I might actually try my hand at this game on the GameCube with the Retrotink Mini, and just see if I can play through it that way. This is one that I shared on Discord, but someone had the Last Story Collector's Edition for the Wii on Mercari for $60, and I just randomly put in an offer for $54, and they bit. So
nice.
That's one that I haven't played, but I've been the only one out of those three, Pandora's Tower, Last Story, and Xenoblade. The one I've actually played through is Xenoblade. So
awesome. So this week I did a couple of runs into some retro stores. One of them is my favorite local store, Game Over, and the other one is Game Exchange, who I don't love to shop at, but sometimes they're around, and there they are. So picked up Dragon Warrior for the NES. We had a little discussion about DQ last week. This is the only Dragon Warrior that I've ever really played a lot of that I really like. Mostly because 2 and 3 are pretty inaccessible unless you're emulating. And Adam has a funny story about Dragon Warrior growing up, because we had it when we were kids. Well, he had it when we were kids, and I was very young.
I think we talked about it on a prior episode, but I had gotten it not really knowing what it was from the Nintendo Power subscription deal, as a lot of people did, and ended up getting really into it. And Dan got on there, and you couldn't have been older than 3 or 4,
right?
Considering when it came out, but proceeded to delete my save file.
I didn't know what I was doing.
And I don't think I've ever been more angry with you for anything in my entire life, which is pretty good, though. If if that was the worst thing that you've ever done to me, I think we're doing okay.
Not bad. Not bad. You had put some time into that save file too.
I'd gotten so far. Yeah. I was like about to be able to head to the final dungeon. And yeah, that was devastating. And then from then on, I put the cartridge like under my pillow when I wasn't playing it, so that he couldn't find it and play it.
I just wanted to play Mario anyway.
It's a similar story to my first gen Pokemon game. I was like 3 Pokemon short of a full dex, and one of my buddy's little sisters, she was probably 2 or 3, deleted my game while I was sleeping still.
Oh God.
Horrible.
Woke up, turned my Game Boy on, and I was like, what the heck is this?
Horrible. It's traumatic. Anywho, I bought a copy of Dragon Warrior for cheap. Excited to pop that in. Also, Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter for the Xbox 360. I don't know, one of my favorite shooters of all time. Don't know why. It's great. Bladestorm, the 100.
Recon is great.
What is? Say that again.
Sorry, I said Ghost Recon is great. I'm with you.
I don't know, just that one specifically. I played a ton of it when I was working at Game Crazy. It was in the store kiosk, and I just played a ton of it, and I fell in love with it. Bladestorm, the 100 Years War. I never heard of this game, but it was cheap, and it was made by Koei, so it's quality. I looked up some videos of it, and I was like, okay, you control like a whole herd of like troops in a battlefield, and it looks really interesting, real time, like a controller controlled real time strategy game.
Do you use a microphone?
Unfortunately, it's not Odama. No, it's like third person view. It's a little bit Dynasty Warriors, except you're controlling an entire troop.
To me,
that
it looks
followed.
sort of like a cross between Dynasty Warriors and like Battalion Wars, because you can control certain groups of troops and then like switch between different types of soldiers to control. So that aspect of it sort of reminded me of Battalion Wars.
Because you're still you, like you're still a character, and they like follow you. So yeah, it is a
We
little
need
bit.
another battalion.
That would be great. I would love another Battalion Wars. So that's cool. And then finally found a non-crazy expensive copy of Ape Escape for the PlayStation. Just my favorite PlayStation game to date. I love Ape Escape.
And I ended up discovering why.
Yeah. Yes.
I eventually figured out that the reason why Dan is so in love with Ape Escape is because it's basically Sony's answer to Donkey Kong.
In a way, yeah. That was a hilarious realization we had on chat. That was great. My love for Donkey Kong. It expands beyond the world of Nintendo, as you can see. And then just picked up Orange Box for PS3 because they had it for cheap, and I love Portal. I picked up a unopened Starwolf amiibo for $25, which I thought was a pretty good deal.
Dang.
Yeah, I will probably be opening it because you know me, John. I got there he is. Yeah,
John's pointing to his amiibos behind him.
All mine are unboxed, and I have Falco and I have Fox, and I just can't let them be by themselves anymore. We need Wolf. We need him.
What if it was like what was that movie in the 90s where the toys came to life and they fought?
Toy Soldiers.
Toy Soldiers, yes.
Small
All
soldiers.
the amiibo.
Small
soldiers. That's what it was. Yeah, all the amiibos break out of their boxes and start fighting when you're not looking.
Yeah, I just saved them the trouble.
Yeah.
So those were all my pickups, and then I played for Monthly Mayhem with the Nintendo dads. I played Crazy Greek Dre in Mario Bros. Versus in Super Mario Brothers 3, and I lost. I was up. You had to win 5 times to win, and it was 4 me to Dre's 1, and then he sweeped me 4 wins in a row and just kicked my butt. So I don't know if he was like sharking me, giving me some false security, but that was pretty crazy.
Oh man, that's one of my favorite games.
I
think I played more versus Super Mario Brothers 3 with my cousin than we did the actual game for like a long time.
Awesome. I'm not a huge fan, but whatever.
Yeah.
I've also
doesn't hold up as well as it did 30 years ago.
I've also been playing this indie game that was just dropped in the most recent Nintendo Direct, which we're also going to talk a little bit about later. It's called There Is No Game, and the best way to describe it is that it's like a very, very clever point-and-click adventure game. Very incredibly meta. The whole thing is just like self-aware, making fun of itself, breaking the fourth wall all the time. Game about a game that's not a game. It's like very self-referential and hilarious. So if you like that kind of humor, you should totally play it. It also is just fun. Like I'm in chapter 3, and it's kind of like a Legend of Zelda ish game, but you're not playing the game. The game is kind of playing itself while you try to like solve puzzles around what's happening in the game. It's very difficult to explain. It is at its core a point and click adventure game, and they even make fun of like the old Tim Schafer LucasArts point and click adventure stuff. They like reference a lot of that stuff, and so it's really funny and fun, and it's not like they're not trying to stump you. There's a whole like hint system, so if you get stuck, you just kind of like look at a hint and figure out what's going on without them overtly telling you what to do. So it's pretty easy to like move forward if you get stuck, which I appreciate because I don't have a ton of time to play games, but I really enjoy it. So if you want to support a cool indie and play a hilarious point and click game, I recommend There Is No Game. Tons of retro references in that game too. Like it's all about referencing old games and making fun of them. So yeah, recommend that.
Definitely need to check that out. I used to love those point and click adventures.
I think you would really like there's a whole section of the game that's just like self-referential point and click stuff that's like all about like Day of the Tentacle and Full Throttle and all that stuff. So you would totally love it.
My childhood right there.
So let's do some Price is Retro. What do you think?
Yes!
Do it.
Okay, so first of all, Adam, thank you for that awesome theme song that you made us. We've been using it for like 20 plus episodes now, and every time I hear it, I am, again, just obsessed with it. So thank you for that.
It was a fun project, so hopefully you don't get sued.
No, well, no. We are not.
Yeah, I don't think we're there yet.
I'll get a cease and desist before that happens, and then you'll have to make me a new one. If this is your first time, what am I trying to say? If this is your first time listening to the podcast, this is how we play Price is Retro. I'm going to list off 4 or 5 games, and the guys here are going to guess how much the entire lot of games is worth based on Price Charting's evaluation. And then we're going to switch places. They're going to say their lists, and we're going to guess. And whoever is closest at the end of all the lists wins a fabulous prize. John, tell them what they've won.
They win the best bragging rights around.
That's true. That's so true. Best bragging rights around. We have a community member list. We have Andross that's going to drop us a list, and then we have Adam with us today, who has a list for us that he's very excited about. I don't know what it's all about, but we're going to find out. So, Adam, being the guest, I'll let you choose if you want to go first or last.
Oh, I would love to go first.
Okay. Drop it. Let's go. John, are you ready? With the spreadsheet? Thank you. Thank you for doing the spreadsheets every week, John, because I wouldn't know how to do any of that. And how else would we keep track? So go ahead, Adam.
Okay. And I think John will appreciate this one. It's got kind of a not so obvious theme to it. So if anybody guesses the theme, I'll be incredibly impressed. Okay, game number 1 is 3D Tetris for the Virtual Boy, Loose.
God, I never know what these games are worth. Okay.
Number 2 is Ooga Booga for the Dreamcast, complete. That's OOGA. BOOGA, Ooga Booga.
I'm still on the hunt for that one.
For the Dreamcast.
That's a great one.
Game number 3, you ready?
Yep.
Mega Man for the Game Gear. Mega Man for the Sega Game Gear. Loose.
Ooh.
Okay. That's a tough list. And I don't know what the theme is yet.
It's dumb. It's not even something that makes sense. Okay, last one. Ready? Mm-hmm. Is Color a Dinosaur for the NES. Loose.
Didn't we own that at one point?
No.
Are you sure?
We maybe have rented it from Outback Video.
I think it came into Game Over one time when I was working there.
Well, you should have held on to it. I'll just say that much.
Okay.
Oh, that last one, was it Loose?
Loose, yes.
Okay.
So yeah, it was 3D Tetris for the Virtual Boy, Loose. Ooga Booga for the Dreamcast, complete. Mega Man for the Game Gear, Loose. And Color a Dinosaur for the NES, Loose.
All right, I have my list. My guess. I'll go first. Okay. I'll go $575. John?
I'm thinking $400.
Go ahead.
Actual retail price $415.
Golleesh.
I'm gonna get you a T-shirt that says "Golleesh" on it.
Golleesh.
With my face, please. Thank you.
So, do we do the price breakdown now, or do it at the end?
You could do the price breakdown now. We changed it. Yeah.
Okay, so the loose 3D Tetris for the Virtual Boy is priced currently at $123.
Okay.
Ooga Booga Complete for the Dreamcast is $28. So you could probably find that, Dan.
Yeah.
Mega Man for the Game Gear loose is $170.
Yeah. I was low on that one.
And Color Red Dinosaur for the NES loose is $94.
All right, I said 300 for Color of Dinosaur because I thought I had looked it up at some point and it was like insane, but maybe
I think that's about the price for the complete with the box and everything is around there.
I was thinking 200, and then I just did $100.
So
I figured it was up there if it was on the list.
Oh yeah, I was shocked. We totally got this game in when I was working at Game Over. So what was the theme?
Okay, so the theme is, I don't know if John has a guess.
I don't. You're all over the place.
The theme is, these are all games that were only released in North America.
Oh,
not in Japan. No, PAL. These games were only released in North America.
Ooga Booga, really?
Yep. I was mostly surprised at Mega Man. That's
Mega Man is the one I throw it up.
Because that Mega Man was not. No, that Mega Man was like it was an exclusive game to the Game Gear. It wasn't just a port of one of the other Mega Man games. It was like a standalone Mega Man that they developed, and I didn't get to do too much research into it, but it was only released in North America.
Crazy. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, that's weird.
Price chart.
It's like I always think that Mega Man did better in Japan.
Look at that, Mega Man for the Game Gear. Wow.
Yeah, kind of an obscure theme, but I thought it would be interesting at least.
That's a good theme. I didn't think about it.
Good deal, Adam. Thanks for that list.
Man, the Japanese are totally missing out on coloring dinosaurs on the NES, apparently.
And on probably one of the best multiplayer games on Dreamcast.
Yeah.
The only thing I was thinking about with Mega Man is, did the Game Gear do all that well in Japan?
Not sure.
That was the only thing I think of, is maybe the Game Gear was like
it did. It was the handheld.
I don't know.
John, why don't you hit us with your list?
Alrighty. So I had to throw mine has a theme too, and you guys probably won't get it because you probably don't recognize the things that I sometimes. The first game on my list is Revelation the Demon Slayer for the Game Boy Color Complete. Which you said you had no idea what this game was earlier. I don't know if you had time to look it up. The second game is Snowboard Kids for the N64 loose. The third game is Double Dragon Advance for the Game Boy Advance loose. And then the last game is Trauma Under the Knife for the DS complete.
Trauma Center Under the Knife.
It's a good game.
So
I think I had Snowboard Kids on my list when I did my themed list after the snowstorm.
Oh yeah, or maybe two.
Oh man, I love Snowboard Kids. I gotta find that.
Pretty high dollar nowadays, especially two. But I mean, anymore, what isn't?
So my guess is $250.
Okay.
What I had down was $235.
All right. So the total of my lot is $320.
Say it again.
$320.
$320. Okay. Wow.
Yep. So the breakdown of my list is Revelation, the Demon Slayer for the Game Boy Color complete is $200.
Oh, that's what killed me.
Snowboard Kids for the N64 loose is $42. Double Dragon Advance for the Game Boy Advance, $62.
Mm-hmm.
Trauma Center Under the Knife for the DS complete is $16.
Man,
So, that was the Game Boy Color game that got you guys.
I was so close on the other three, and then that game.
Yeah, same here.
So my theme this week is that these are all Atlas games.
Oh, right. Nice.
If I had thought about it, not knowing that first one, I could have maybe possibly gotten that.
The one that threw me off was Double Dragon Advance.
That is weird.
It's not really the type of game that they don't generally go after, other franchises like that. Generally stick to oddball stuff or things that they'd normally do. So it's kind of different.
That is weird for them.
But, yep.
All right. So,
That was
Dan's list. That was a good one. So, I also have a theme. I'm just going to let you guys figure it out. It's not that hard. First game is Ape Escape 3.
Oh, man, I think you got it.
I guessed it before you even said a game.
Oh my gosh. Am I that predictable or what?
Yes.
You do have a monkey on your chair, so.
Thank you, Jeff. You gave me this monkey. Thank you.
I know.
Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. I didn't even say one word, and you're like, monkeys. Okay, whatever. Ape Escape 3 for the PlayStation 2, complete in box. Monkey Mischief Party Game for the Wii, complete in box. Super Monkey Ball 2-pack for the GameCube, complete in box.
2-pack.
Just as a little hint, that one is very rare. And then
there's some monkey business going on with that one.
The banana. My last one is the banana controller for the N64 loose.
Oh no!
Oh jeez.
Yes. Accessories are a little weird on price charting, so I'll just tell you that too. Can't believe you got my stupid theme, like instantly knew what was going on.
I knew it was coming. So I think I'm gonna say $500.
Okay.
I have no clue. Just taking a guess out there.
Well, that doesn't make me feel very good about my guess, but I'm going to stick with what I've got down. I put $215.
Okay. All right. So, actual retail price, we've got $781.
Holy bananas.
That banana controller must be pretty dang valuable.
Actually, Super Monkey Ball 2-pack for the GameCube complete goes for a $600.
You are
boom.
I think it shot up. It was like $200 not too long ago.
Well, it is
probably earlier this year. I think I used it on our game a couple months. Like it's been probably 3 or 4 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that one surprised me as well.
I'm shook.
Monkey Mischief Party Time for the Wii is $4.70. Ape Escape 3 for the PlayStation 2 complete is $60. And the banana controller loose, price charting has it at $117.
Oh, so close on I had 110 for the banana controller.
I've never seen it lower than 150. I very much want one. That might be my next white whale, but we'll see.
Oh my god.
It's a little weird because like they don't show that, you like never see them. So I'm not sure how to really track that kind of thing down. But yeah, That's Monkey Ball 2-pack got you guys a little bit. So had to throw.
Well, if I added a 0 at the end of my guess for the Super Monkey Ball 2-pack, then I would have nailed it.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so we have a guest list, community member list from our good friend over at the Nintendo Pals podcast. If you like Nintendo, go check those guys out. They have a really fun podcast. Just two friends. They were friends since childhood. They've been playing Nintendo since childhood, and they get together, they play some games, and they just chat about the news and have a great time. Really fun to listen to, easygoing guys. They have a really great Discord community too. So go check them out. Plug them. So Andross listened to our episode last week and came to us with a very specific theme this week, and I'll just go ahead and list the games off. So first we have Plok for the Super Nintendo, Loose. Next we have Plok for the Super Nintendo, Complete in Box. And then we have we have Plok New Sealed for the Super. I'm not done yet. Then we have
wait, there must be a theme.
Got to be Plok me.
We've got Plok, just the box, no game. And then to wrap it all up, we've got Plok, just the manual. So go ahead and give me your best guess on all of that.
Oh, I need to compose myself. Okay, hold on.
So these are all spoiler tags, so I can't see any of the prices. My guess is $200.
Wow, that is exactly what I put down after I write down individually too. So,
and John, you were thinking 180.
So, yep. So you're 200, and you're also 200. I'm 180.
All right.
What is the total value?
Actual retail price is $262.
Oh.
So, yeah. Let's go through these prices, shall we? Plok Loose goes for $20. Plok Complete goes for $67. Might be worth tracking one of those down just to have. Plok Sealed, $145. I can't imagine very many of those floating around. Box only, you've got $25, and then manual only $5.
So the box is worth more than the game.
The box is worth more than the game. Indeed. Indeed. And buying the game, the box, and the manual is cheaper than buying a complete set.
Than buying a complete, yeah.
So why bother?
Wow.
Thank you, Andross, for that pile of Plok. We appreciate you sticking with the theme. Oh, brother.
So the winner of this week's Prices Retro is Dan.
Yes.
Wow. Happy birthday.
Yep. You get a birthday win there.
Nice.
I was at 378 and Adam is at 713.
Okay.
Ooh. Still not the highest difference.
The biggest loser.
I think that still belongs to
still Nick Metzger.
Still Nick Metzger. Yep. Still has the most difference.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for playing.
I'll have to steal that crown.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll have to have him. We'll have to have him back on and see if he can beat himself. We love you, Nick. So thank you for playing with us. If you played along and you beat us, let me know. Hit me up on Twitter at Retrologic.games or in the Discord and let me know that, hey, Dan, I beat you. And I will gladly bow down to you. We're not worthy. We're
tied again.
That just keeps going back and forth, man. We got to have another tiebreaker soon. Not too soon though. Let's just some time pass. Let's hit our weekly topics. We've got quite a bit to chat about. First, let's keep the Plok rolling here with our crossplay game. We've got some news about that. If you're playing Plok with us, if you are a Plok jock in our Discord, then we are going to do our live community night where we're going to talk Plok. We'll have our Plok Talk community live discussion, which will turn into a podcast on April 29th at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So mark your calendars for that. We're going to start promptly at 8:30. So get your stuff ready around 8. Be ready. We'll chat for a bit, and then we'll start recording at 8:30. If you want to be part of that, just be ready. I will send out more info as it's available. And if you're listening to the podcast and you want to jump in, go to Twitter, find me at Retrologic.games, go to my bio, click the Discord link, and you can join the friendliest Discord community of retro gamers this side of the planet Earth. So do that and see you guys there. Next up, we're going to chat about our what was going on this day in gaming history. And we have a few games to talk about, so we're not going to spend a ton of time on these games, but we are going to chat about them because it is fun to go back and reminisce about what were we doing on this day. 27 years ago, April 18th, 1994, the masterpiece that I played for the first time this year, Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo. All three of us have played it and have nothing but praise for it. So why don't we go around a little bit and just talk about our first experience playing the game and see if we can just think about what was it like as a kid to play Super Metroid? How did it feel? What was your initial thoughts of the game playing it back in 94? John, why don't you go first?
So I didn't actually play Super Metroid in 94. So Super Metroid for me probably would have been either very late 90s or early 2000s. And I'm not even 100% sure where I played it at, but I just remember I played the original Metroid and I really liked Metroid. And this Super Metroid was just like the original Metroid, but if you multiplied it by a lot, so much better. The music's better. A lot of the gameplay mechanics are much improved upon, and obviously the visuals. But no, this game was a standout game. By the time I played it, we were probably already almost getting Metroid Prime, which would have been a totally different take on the game. So, yeah, this was an impressive game for me, even after playing everything on the N64 and getting into GameCube. I'm assuming, pretty sure it was probably early 2000s when I played it. So yeah, no, the game is awesome. If anyone hasn't played it, they need to go play it because it's well worth it. And if you have a Switch, you can play it anytime you want. Yeah, if you have NSO.
I'm a testament to that. My first playthrough of it was really recently, and it's amazing. And I actually tweeted about this earlier today. We're having a discussion with, I forget who it was on Twitter I was talking with about, but Super Metroid it just holds up so well. My first time playing it, I felt like I was playing a modern, like indie, like high quality indie game or something. You know what I mean? Like so many staples in gaming that we rely on today were birthed out of Super Metroid and just the Metroid series in general. So to go back and play where it started and just how polished it was even back then is just incredibly impressive. I immediately fell in love with the atmosphere of the game, the loneliness and the vibe and the music, or just like the eerie silence that it dropped on you every once in a while. You definitely need you do. I feel like it's best played with a guide these days. That's just my opinion. I just like to play with guides or some kind of like easy mode, if you will. I want to get through the game. I don't want to be stuck for too long. But yeah, my first impression being recent, I feel like my perspective on it has just it became one of my top 10 games of all time, even playing it like last month. So that if that's not a testament to its lasting quality and its masterpiece status, I don't know what else is. Adam, what about you? Do you recall a first impression you had with Super Metroid?
Yeah, I was at the time when it did come out, I was aware of it, but I was like deep into Genesis territory at that point. So I was playing almost nothing but Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. So, which both came out that year, I believe. And I, being a big fan and like one of the only people that I knew that played the original Metroid and actually enjoyed it, I really did want to play Super Metroid, and none of my friends ended up having it. So I also didn't get to play it until probably the late 90s. And it was life-changing from a video game standpoint, just with the major upgrades from how the original Metroid was. I was like, oh, I would have loved to have played Metroid with these features, with, you know, the map and everything, the save points. So it's a pretty scary game from just an environmental standpoint, just the locations and the unknown and the creatures and everything. They just did a really good job of this kind of, there's just an underlying sense of dread. There's miasma everywhere. It's just kind of, there's danger no matter where you go. It never lets you, very rarely lets you take a breather.
But at the same time, you still feel powerful. Like the more upgrades you get and the more like missile upgrades and more energy tanks you get, there's still an element of like, I can handle this if I play my cards right. As scary as it is.
Yeah, that's part of the whole Metroid experience, is like gaining all those power-ups and then feeling like you've accomplished something. But yeah, even at least I feel like even with the power-ups, it's just, I mean, you saw yourself, as I witnessed, playing that final stage of the game and having however many energy tanks. Those later enemies and boss battles, that they drain through those energy tanks so quickly. So it almost doesn't matter that you're so powerful, because by the time you get to that stage of the game, it's like they're just dealing so much damage that you can still die very quickly and very easily if you're not really on your game.
Awesome.
But yeah, definitely in my top 10 games as far as 16-bit and older. I'll just leave it at that.
Sweet. Yeah, for sure. If you have not played Super Metroid, please find a way to play it. I'm happy to point you in the direction of a good guide if you want one, which I recommend. But yeah.
I'm actually going to real quick chime in and recommend that you do not use a guide for your first playthrough if you've got the time to do it, because that's the Metroid experience, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah. I mean, however you want to play your game, I'm not here to tell you how to do it. When I played it on stream, I had the original Nintendo Power Guide, which was really fun to go through on stream, like flip through the guide and figure out what to do and then talk about it and then do it. So however you want to play it, please play it that way. Whatever you do, play it. Our next game, 25 years ago, we have the arcade version of Metal Slug dropping April 18th, 1996. Wow, Metal Slug. Adam, you popped in Metal Slug this week so that you could chat about it here, right?
Yeah, I went back and played the first one. I didn't have time to dig much deeper than that. But Metal Slug was and may actually still be my favorite arcade game. It, for some reason, hit just so many of my, like, what I loved about arcade games at the time. And I can't even put my finger on exactly why I love it so much. It's the animation, the kind of the extreme, cartoonish violence, the power-ups, the being able to hop in and out of the tank and everything, the massive boss battles, just the whole Metal Slug aesthetic. It's just really gritty and weird, kind of gross sometimes. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, I'm in love with the art style, and for 96, it was doing things with sprites that just kind of blew your mind. It looked like a walking cartoon.
Exactly, and there was really not a whole lot that looked like that at the time. I mean, if we're getting technical, there were better looking games for sure, but just something about the smoothness of the animation and how well done the 2D animation was just blew my mind, and it still looks really cool. If you're a fan of 2D games, if you're a fan of sprite artwork, it's got to be some of the best sprite artwork in gaming history. It's just so good.
One of my favorite things about Metal Slug is that they took a different approach to an arcade game where it's not terribly difficult. But it is just like fun all the way through, you know, like the difficulty ramps up the more you play.
Oh yes, it does ramp up in later levels for sure.
Yeah, but your first couple of levels, your first time playing the game, you should be able to pretty much get through, and it gives you a really great experience. And you want to just keep playing it because it just
it's the opposite of Contra.
Right. It's exactly. Like it was like the answer to Contra. Like, oh, okay, you don't want to keep dying over and over and over again. Here, play Metal Slug.
Yeah, pretty much. Contra's like, we're gonna throw you right in, chew you up, spit you out. You don't have a chance.
They're also trying to get you to pump in as many quarters as possible. So
yeah,
got to give you some incentive to keep pumping quarters in there.
They chose a different path to that end, and I'm glad they did it. The Metal Slug collection on Wii, I think, is still probably one of the best ways to get everything.
Man, I was in heaven when that thing came out because I had played 1, 2, and 3, but when that collection came out, man, I played through all of those games, and
yeah, the anthology. Anyway, the anthology on Wii is $20 still, so totally worth picking up.
Worth it.
Yeah,
I think they have an Arcade Archives release on the
Switch.
Yep,
that's right.
And then I think there might be a couple different versions of it on the Neo Geo collection that just released.
Oh yeah, the Pocket collection. The Pocket collection or the
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, those are not in the Pocket. Those are not in the Metal Slug anthology on Wii. So that collection might be worth picking up just for that. Awesome. Yes. And our final game we're going to talk about from this day in gaming history, 10 years ago. Portal 2 for the PC, Xbox 360, and PS3 dropped. And turned one of probably the best shooter puzzles of all time into like an incredible experience, an incredible story. This game hit me right at the right time. I had nothing to do. I was single, and I would sit down every night and play an hour or two of Portal 2, and was just engrossed in the story. It's funny. The writing is on point. The voice acting was killer. They turned the concept of Portal into like such a engrossing narrative, a sci-fi narrative. And I think the reason why it sticks with me so hard today is that there's this moment at the end, and I'm not going to spoil it because it's just such a perfect moment if you don't know it's coming. There's this moment at the end where kind of everything you've been taught up to this point, like you just kind of like your brain, like it's a mind explosion moment where you're like, oh wait, I have to do this. And it is incredible. Like it just like if it's not spoiled for you, it like totally like blows your mind that it all led to this moment. So And just the whole like relationship between Gladys and your the other AI, I forget the name of him. It's just such good writing and voice acting from top to bottom. I need to play it again. That's a game I have to play again. Do either of you have any experience with Portal 2?
I do not. I only have experience with the first Portal, and I never completely finished it as well. So now that I have the Orange Box collection, I probably need to go back and play those.
Yeah, you don't even have to play the first one to enjoy the second one. It all gets explained and worked out. It's cool too, but it's unnecessary. Adam, what about you? Portal 2.
Yeah, I definitely played it. I don't have too much to add other than what you've already said.
Do you know the moment I'm talking about at the end?
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to talk about it without spoiling anything, but it's definitely one of those gaming experiences that you don't really forget. It just kind of sticks with you.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. Every time I see that cover art, I'm like, yes. So good. Awesome. Good. Well, thank you guys for sticking with us through history. Got a couple pieces of news we're going to chat about. Then we're going to take a little break. First, we had a Nintendo Direct this week. Not too much retro related other than we have confirmation of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge coming to the Nintendo Switch. I am so looking forward to that. Maybe there's online. That would be great. And I'm really hoping that we get either a limited run or a super rare physical edition. There's got to be
where I'm at.
Yeah, got to be something special. I'm saving my cash because I will buy the most expensive thing that they can throw at me.
I hope it comes with like new Ninja Turtle action figures
or even what they did with I would even take what they did with Star Wars stuff. If they took like an old package and like that's where you get the game inside the package. Yeah. Love that.
Like the Scott Pilgrim one did like a diorama of the stage where they play the final Battle of the Bands thing. So like they did like a level diorama of one of the levels of the new. It'd be really awesome.
Or like a skyline of New York or something.
Oh yeah.
Man. I'm so excited to see what they do. No release date yet. I'm gonna let that one cook. I'm gonna say just when it's ready, guys. Take your time. And then finally, the second piece of news from that Direct that I didn't know about, and they just kind of like, here's a thing, and then it went away because it was part of a montage. House of the Dead remake? Are we serious? How is this not getting more fanfare? Like, probably the best.
I don't know. They should have had something else on it.
Probably the best Lycan game ever made is getting a remake, and we're just like glazing over it. No, I'm sorry. I refuse to glaze over it. I love House of the Dead, and this needs to be celebrated. So let's get some more info on that, guys. ASAP, please. That is gonna do it for this half of the podcast. So stay tuned after the break. We've got two very, very interesting community questions to talk about. And I played a little bit of Joe and Mac too, and I'll talk about that. So stay tuned, and we will be right back. Welcome back. We have some community content to burn through. First of all, our Retro Rewind game for this month is Joe and Mac 2 on the Nintendo Switch Online. A very expensive cartridge, I found out. What is that thing going for? Like $100 now? Crazy.
Joe and Mac 2 is probably more than that.
Really? Man. Anyway,
it's pretty high dollar.
That's unfortunate because I love this game. I love Joe and Mac 2. It is giving me some major Donkey Kong Country vibes with all the different like platforming and swinging from vines and grabbing onto ropes and riding animals. major Donkey Kong Country vibes in the best way possible. Plus, all of the little like upgrades you get to your mallet and your projectiles and everything. You get 2-player simultaneous co-op happening, which they handle really well, considering the size of the sprites. I'm really loving that. Me and Crazy Greek Dre played some 2-player online with that one. No lag, which I thought was great, but that had to do with internet connection more than anything else. But that just gave me a really good sense of like what the game is like 2-player, and I really like it. Really, really impressed with it. So if you're not playing with us, please jump on. Please jump into Joe and Mac 2. We are chatting about it in Discord, and we will be having a live community discussion in mid-May is what I'm aiming for. So you have some time to play it and to get some 2-player action in, play with some friends online, do the things, and play with us. So hopefully, John, you get a little bit of time with it in there with Yo's schedule. So our first question of the week comes to us from community member Chris HL94. Chris HL asks, what is the best value / underpriced game in the retro gaming market today? To put it another way, what is a really great game you can get today for cheap as a collector? He says, from my Price's retro list, I have to say everyone should get a copy of NHL 94, his namesake, because it is the best hockey game of all time. It is very affordable, as are most sports games. Yep. What do you guys think? What are some of the best cheap retro games that you can think of? Top of my list, Alien Syndrome for the Wii. You could probably find it for $5 in any bargain bin in a retro store, but it is a top-notch 4-player upgradable weapons co-op multi-directional top-down shooter experience. I love that game. I love it. I play it by myself, and it's super fun. So that's top of my list. John, what do you think?
In the Discord, I mentioned the Uncharted series, and I said that I probably consider those retro now that the first game is about 14 years old.
Yeah.
So any of those games are all dirt cheap. You can get probably 1, 2, and 3 on the collection for less than like $10 now.
Yeah, that whole generation's really cheap right now.
Yep. And if I had to pick something even more retro, I'd probably say Turok.
Yes. Turok, lots of
great game, and it's cheap.
Yeah, really cheap. Lots of really good N64 stuff. That brought to mind for me Shadows of the Empire. One of my favorite Star Wars games of all time. Still probably under $20 for the cartridge. Yeah, definitely. Adam, anything you can think of that I don't know, I know you're not in like on all the pricing and everything, but anything you can think of that you think is pretty cheap that you love? Dragon Warrior.
I was thinking about it, and I'm looking it up right now, but I'm actually going to go with Shadow of the Colossus for the PlayStation 2, which I've probably talked about before on the podcast, but probably in my top 3 favorite games of all time. And it is currently
$17 complete.
Yeah, it's like 17 complete, 10 loose. And
the Ico,
there's other ways to play it, but oh my god, just what a game!
The Ico and Shadow of the Colossus collection on PS3 is only 15 or less.
The other game that I was going to, and when I'm thinking about PlayStation 2 games, this game always comes to my mind, but Burnout 3 Takedown. Ooh. And I love that game so much, and to this day I've never gotten bored. I haven't played it in a while because I don't really have a way to play it right now, but Burnout 3 is just so fun to me. As far as driving games go, that would be like, if I mean,
did that one make it to the GameCube as well? I know the first one did.
Unfortunately.
No, I think Burnout 2 came out on the GameCube, if I'm not mistaken, but no. Burnout 3 was PlayStation 2 and Xbox only, I believe.
I'll mention
the soundtrack is amazing.
Awesome. I'll mention one more, and it's not like bargain bin cheap, but if you want to talk about time for your money value, for about 20 to 25 bucks, you can pick up a copy of Final Fantasy Tactics Advance for the Game Boy Advance, which is way cheaper than the PlayStation version, and honestly, much more accessible game. I put about 200 hours into this game as a kid. Just digging into the whole class system and upgrading my characters. And I mean, it is super deep and really, really accessible and fun as a tactics RPG. So not super duper cheap, but cheap enough where if you want like a good 200 hours on your Game Boy Advance, it is easy to get right here for 20 bucks.
It's way more affordable than the tactics game that I played on the Game Boy Advance.
Yes. Tactics
I
Ogre.
think it's like $70 for a copy now.
Insane.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So buy Final Fantasy Tactics Advance instead. Actually, A2, the sequel on DS is about the same price too. And it's just more of the same. So if you're down for some tactics RPGs, we got them
I
for
think
you.
there's a PSP version as well.
Yeah, don't you? I think you have that one or no? Do you?
I have it. I haven't played it yet, but I have Final Fantasy Tactics on. I think it's just original or probably the PlayStation game.
The PlayStation game I sold recently for about 60. So not cheap. But also, my opinion, not the best version of Final Fantasy Tactics. So,
If it's the same as the PSP version and you have a PSP, that one goes for like $15. You get it all day.
yeah. Good luck getting a working PSP for cheap, though. Although, if they have your luck, they might be able to grab one and fix it easy. So, anything else you want to add to that one, Adam?
Not that I can think of. I was actually, what I was doing is looking at the prices here, and yeah, you can get Burnout 3 for less than $14 complete, and it's even cheaper on the Xbox. It's like $10.
Yeah. Sweet. Good deal. So, we had some community members respond. I'm going to read some of those off. We have Third Strongest Mole said Plok is certainly a contender. And if we're talking GameCube, this always comes up. And if we're talking GameCube, Odama. That one's pretty cheap. I mean, you got to have the microphone, which is cheap. So
yeah.
For N64, I'd pick up Rogue Squadron. It's currently $9 for the Player's Choice Edition on price charting. So that's crazy. Great. Again, for some reason, a lot of the Star Wars games stay pretty cheap, probably because they sell so well.
There were so many of them back then.
Yeah. Spider Shan in the community says, I'll pick a couple great GameCube games that are a ton of fun that won't break the bank, which is tough these days because GameCube is going up. The first is Tales of Symphonia, one of his first RPGs. That one sits at $38, which is starting to creep out of cheap territory, in my opinion. But really good game. If you like comics, you can pick up the incredible X-Men Legends game for $13 or the even better sequel for $19. Those games are cheap. Wow. The X-Men Legend games? I love those games. I should pick those up.
I did recently.
We have... oh, you did? Good. My turn. So we have another question here tonight from 16-Bit Wars Nomad in the Discord. He says, here's an interesting question for everyone. What is your least favorite console? For me, it would be the Wii. Ouch. I hated the idea of motion controls and preferred an actual controller. And while there are some good games for the Wii, just not my favorite. Yeah. Well, to each their own. 16-Bit Wars Nomad, to each their own. I'm not a fan of Waggle, I will say that, but I have very fond memories of the Wii Sports, Twilight Princess at launch, Monkey Ball, all that stuff. Really, really had a great time with it. Excite Truck. So I can't say the Wii is my least favorite. What do you guys think? Any thoughts on your least favorite console?
I probably agree with them, just mainly based on that I didn't put a whole lot of time into the Wii. I didn't get one until like 2010, so I was very late on the It's funny too because I had one pre-ordered and I canceled it. I just wasn't playing a whole lot of console games at that time. I was mainly playing PC games, and it just took me another like 3 or 4 years to get a hold of one. Strangely enough, I bought one at Circuit City when it was going out of business, and with Mario Kart Wii, and that was really one of the only games I had for a really long time. And my wife enjoyed playing it, so that's what we had. So I kind of missed that generation, so it had to be my least favorite.
Cool.
I'm going to get so much hate for this, but if I'm being honest with myself, I'm going to have to go with the Wii U.
The Wii U?
Yeah. And it doesn't, and I know full well that it, number one, doesn't deserve the hate that it does get. And that is in a similar vein as John, that was just a console generation that I basically completely skipped as far as Nintendo is concerned. And the whole concept was lost on me, even when, I was able to, play yours, Dan, and it still just it never clicked with me. I know there are some great games on it, which most of which have been ported at this point to the Switch, but I kind of get it now, but at the time it just had almost no redeeming qualities for me.
Yeah. You're not wrong. And diehard Nintendo fans will come out and say those were the dark ages.
Okay.
We waited months between game releases, whereas now we're drowning in them.
Right. That was also a huge problem for me before I buy any console, there has to be something that comes out that I say, okay, I have to play this game and it's worth the entry fee to play it. And for me, that never happened on Wii U, even if it's, something like the Switch. I didn't get a Switch right away. I just never had that moment where I absolutely had to play whatever the game was that made me buy the Wii U. It never happened. I never had that moment.
I had heard this before, and I agree with it, that had the Wii U launched with something like Mario Maker, things may have been a little different for the Wii U. Mario Kart 8 was a great game, but it used zero of the unique features that made the Wii U special. It wasn't, you can play it on the Switch just fine. You don't need the Wii U. But
I'm saying if it would have launched with Mario Kart 8, I think it would have done a lot better.
Maybe. It is a really good, it's one of the best Mario Karts ever made. When I say that Mario Maker would have been a good launch title, I guess I'm talking about how unique of an experience it is specific to the Wii U. That wouldn't work on you know what I mean? I'm
just talking about it in terms of like possibly saving that console generation from the disaster that it became.
Nothing could,
because Mario Kart sells consoles, like it's proven.
And I think there were bigger issues with the Wii U where like their initial concept for the whole thing got lost in the marketing, and it wasn't a great concept to begin with.
Nobody wanted to develop the games to work with it how they wanted it to.
And Star
even
Fox
Nintendo themselves,
and I have a chip on my shoulder because I believe Star Fox Zero was ruined by shoehorning features into the game that were unnecessary because it was on the Wii U. Platinum should have made one of the best Star Fox game ever, and they were forced to shoehorn in motion and second screen features, and it just kind of so I don't disagree with you, Adam.
Similar experience to Adam. I almost, except for 8.
Hey John, you're breaking up a little bit. Get a little closer to your mic and see if we can hear you. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
So when Mario Kart 8 came out, I played at a friend's house and decided that I needed to pick up a Wii U. So that was what, 2 years into the life cycle.
Yeah, that's when I picked mine up
If
too.
it would have been, I probably would have missed out.
That's when I picked mine up too. No regrets. I loved the system, had awesome games, and as we can see, because they're all being ported to Switch now. My choice probably for my least favorite console is a console that I had limited experiences with, and the experiences I did have were kind of like not amazing. Nothing in this console really like grabbed me and pulled me in. I'm probably going to get hate for it too, and that's the PlayStation 2. I have some games that I'm like, oh, I played a little bit of this and it was cool. I played some Dark Cloud. I played, I watched Adam play Shadow of the Colossus and that was cool. But like PS1, I got Ape Escape and Final Fantasy VII and Twisted Metal and all that stuff. And I know some of that stuff is available on the PS2. I was so into GameCube at that point, and I was so into what was available there and those kinds of games that whenever I came over to PS2 and was like, oh, this is neat, but like I want to play Melee, or I want to play Mario Sunshine, or I want to play Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. That may be the Nintendo fanboy in me talking, but yeah, there are other PlayStation experiences that I love. It's just that the 2 was like, what's there for me?
There's I never so many good games.
Last week when we went over, like, we had a question where it was like, what's a good system to get for retro collecting on the cheap? PS2 was on a lot of people's lists. So maybe what I need to do is dig into that library a little bit more. That's 100% a me thing, because I realize that it is a great console that has great content. If I go back and think in my mind at the time, like, what console did I have like almost no great experiences on? That's the one. And it's just, it's just totally me. I had better experiences on the Xbox, all the Sega games. So, I don't know. I don't know why. That's the one that comes to mind.
The only real PS2 memories I have are playing Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, which is also available on Xbox, and that's not even that to me that doesn't feel like an exclusive PlayStation experience. It's like, Grand Theft Auto is Grand Theft Auto.
Did they come out at the same time?
No, they didn't.
It was exclusive for a long time, wasn't it?
It was, which is like, that's cool. I like Grand Theft Auto, but it's not something that I'm super attached to or have an emotional connection to.
Well, the only time I played it was at a friend's house. I didn't own a PlayStation or PlayStation 2. I was only Nintendo at that time. So
yeah. Like I had a Dreamcast and then I had a GameCube, and PS2 was like there. And I think, Adam, did you own a PS2, or how did we play those games?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that.
I had a PS2. The reason why I'm being so quiet is because I disagree with you so hard that there's nothing constructive. I'll say is that if you can't find an experience for you on a PlayStation 2, then you're just simply not looking hard enough.
That's what it is. And I know it's a personal choice thing where like I haven't dug into the library very much due to like the time that it came out and whatever, but
let me just list off some PS2 exclusives.
Oh my god.
Shadow of the Colossus, God of War, Ico, Final Fantasy 12.
God of War isn't that good.
Kingdom Hearts, Katamari. I'm gonna
okay. I don't even want to talk about Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is like a fun candy shell around a hollow middle with like poor gameplay. I don't even want to let's not get into that.
No, you're wrong. It's okay though. Psychonauts, Jak and
Not
Daxter,
exclusive.
Soul Calibur. Well, then Google is wrong. I'll stop. It's okay. I'm not going to convince anybody.
I'm not. Listen, it's not about convincing. I know that I have to dig into the library to find the games that I love. I have Shadow of the Colossus to play on it. It's just Solid 3. It's about going back in my mind and thinking, what period of time did I play games and what was the least impactful to me at the time. And that was the one for me.
Was Red Faction on Xbox?
Red Faction? I believe it was.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Like, I should have played Ape Escape 2 and 3. That's my problem.
More monkey business.
We need more monkey games for Dan to play.
We need more monkey games. We need more monkey business. So, now that I've sufficiently lost all of my listeners with that hot take about the PlayStation 2,
I'm sure there's plenty of people who do agree with you, Dan.
you know, it's just a very personal choice. I don't remember a lot of great experiences. I'm happy to dig into the library now that it's pretty cheap. Bing bong boop. That's the end of our episode. Adam, thank you from the bottom of my heart for not only coming to my birthday party, but then also spending more time with me, as insufferable as that is, on the podcast, having some fun, talking about games, and chatting about just us playing games in the past. It's always fun.
It's always fun. And despite not being a currently active collector, been a collector in the past, hopefully will be again in the future. Like we talked about, I'd simply, with my hi-fi and vinyl record hobby, there's just no way that I can afford to do both of those things at the same time right now. And I'm neck deep in the vintage hi-fi stuff. So the only other thing that I will say is I did find the Jet Set Radio tribute album that I was talking about at the front of the podcast, by an artist called 2 Mellow. That's number 2 and then MELLO. The album is called Memories of Tokyoto, and it is available on Bandcamp. Also, the limited edition green vinyl album is available for pre-order. And I get nothing from this. I'm just simply plugging an artist that clearly loved the games and the music in them, and created a really amazing album that pays tribute to all of the incredible music within those games. And if you're into that kind of stuff or just want to check it out, you can listen to it on Bandcamp. But it's just front to back fantastic. Really good driving music.
Awesome. Anything that you want to plug of yourself, projects or anything?
I don't have anything to plug right now.
Okay.
We've just been so busy with so many other things, and I probably have project paralysis right now, or just have too many projects going on at the same time and not getting anything done. So need to get some focus together and complete some projects. But
Cool.
Other than that, just been listening to the podcast and enjoying the daily banter on I only subscribe to 2 Discord channels, and this is one of them. So
Yes.
I just
Thank
love
you.
it. What a great community. You don't even have to be all that into the retro gaming world. There's something for everybody in that Discord, and I'm a fan. I'm here for it.
Awesome. John, anything you want to say or speak?
I should be getting my Retro Tink Mini on Monday and my analog Super NT on Wednesday. So probably share some things in Discord, and maybe if I can ever find time to with those.
Do a stream?
I need to.
Yeah. Yes. And we will continue to pray that you get lots of time to yourself to do those things soon.
Need to.
Well,
I
good.
was reading something. It's how the 3 stages of life go is when you're younger, you've got time and energy, but no money. And then when you get to the middle stage of life, you've got money and energy, but no time. And then when you get to the end stage of your life, you've got time and money, but no energy.
Yep. That's how it goes.
Yeah. Luckily for us, playing video games doesn't take a lot of energy, but hopefully we're still there mentally.
We're going to be some old retired gamers and finally
It's going to be
get to play
weird.
all the games before we kick the bucket.
Yeah. All of our retirement homes are going to have NESs and like
Oh man.
and classic consoles. So, thank you guys for listening to the Retrologic podcast. We are proudly part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. If you like what you hear, check me out on Twitter. I am at Retrologic.games on Twitter. I actually just opened up my Instagram account today. There's nothing to look at yet, but I have plans. Have some very interesting exclusive Instagram plans. So if you want to check that out, that is also at Retrologic.games. If you really like what you hear and you want to talk to us even more, well, let me tell you a little bit about our Discord community. Yesterday and today we were doing, we were getting into our little marketplace area, and I was doing not only some giveaways, but also was selling a lot of stuff for really cheap, out of just some stuff that I had laying around that I needed to get rid of. So if you're a collector and you want to get in on that kind of thing, we're doing weekly giveaways. And the community is just really down to help each other out, help find stuff, post stuff from Mercari or eBay when it pops up if you're looking for a specific game. And also just share your collection with us. We want to see what you have. We want to see your game room. If you like to look at game rooms, because I like to just look at people's game rooms and gawk. That's my favorite thing to do. That's also a great place to do that. We are 100% non-toxic, friendly, happy to welcome you no matter what level of gaming you are, or a non-gamer. You just want to hang out with some dudes who like games. Sure, come on in. You can find that link in my Twitter bio, again, at Retrologic.games. You can also find everything, the store, the Discord, the Instagram, the Twitter, the merch coming soon. So look forward to that.
That's a weird sound.
All of that, yeah, it's the air passing between the palms of my hands as I rub them together.
Doesn't make it any less gross.
You could find all of that, including this noise, at Retrologic.games. So if you want more of that, come on by. All right. We will see you guys next week for another episode. Peace out.
Bye now.